going to red flag the event. They're going to stop the field, restart the race, and try and settle it.
If rain comes in the next 10 laps, Lorenzen's got it. Patch pours on the coal.
Bobby John still running in third place. These cars have been 1, 2, and 3 all during the last 40 or 50 laps. Uh-oh, there is Marvin Panch in a skid down the backstretch. And the yellow light is on right now. In fact, the yellow light, we just noticed at the head of the stretch, went on before he started his skid, so it may be that they're having a little precipitation. And Panch has still got his engine running.
Sky is black now as Lorenzen holds first place, unchallenged.
The right front fender we see in the glasses now is bent right up against the right front wheel.
But his crew chief, Herb Nabb, ordered him to stay out on the track. He was counting on the weather to shorten the race. This turned out to be another good gamble for Lorenzen.
The track is getting slick, and the spectators are getting wet. The rain is coming down hard now.
Well, the yellow caution flag has turned to red, and that automatically signals all the drivers to stop. The race has been halted at the end of 133 laps. The rain started to come down just moments ago, and it is pouring. No chance at all to run, and all the drivers now have gotten out of their cars. They've run under the pit area for cover.
And so the remaining 24 cars are lined up behind the pace car. The faithful wait.
Just moments ago, the NASCAR officials declared it an official race at the end of 133 laps out of a possible 200. Freddie Lorenzen, the winner, Darrell Derringer in second place, Bobby Johns in third place, and in fourth place was Balmer. And so it means that the Mercury's got 2 of the first 4, the Fords got the other 2, and of course the big one went to Freddie Lorenzen. And Fred, you've waited 6 long years. Congratulations.
Well, I just never thought I could do it. The 50 mile and the 100 mile in the last couple of weeks, everything just sort of seemed to go wrong. I guess just getting outrun, and this is the one I've always wanted all my life.
It's over. Fred Lorenzen is the winner. Fearless Freddie finally did it at Daytona. He's the king of the super speedways with the biggest purse in stock car racing in his pocket. He'd want everything now, including the hearts of the fans who will be out there again, rain or shine, wherever he may race, to cheer him on to victory.
Back up amongst the leaders. Change there.
Marlin has gotten back up to second now. They're going to throw the caution because of the rain.
Yellow is going to be thrown on the track.
They'll race back to the start-finish line here. We're not at the halfway point, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, but they want to get every position they can.
Coming to lap 69. Complete. As they come to the strike, Jeff Gordon comes across first. Marlin second. Bodine is third, and it looked dead even between Schrader and Earnhardt. Let's go to David Hobbs.
Well, I'm Weatherman Dave, unlike Dave Letterman, slightly different money. But there you see the map of Florida in the NASCAR truck. And here you see a lot of shower activity out in the Atlantic and down across the south of the state. And here's Daytona Beach right here. And there is one little bit of shower activity over the town. But as you can see, nothing to the west and north, which is where the weather's coming from. So hopefully this is going to be a very short-lived shower unless it stalls right overhead. But as you can see, very small bit of weather over Daytona. Should be nothing to worry about.
Thank you. Under a red flag condition here at Daytona, with 71 laps complete, 177.5 miles in the book, and we can give you a complete rundown through the field. Running order at the present time. See the cars lined up and the tarps trying to keep their pit area dry just to the inside of them there on the right of your picture. Ken Schrader back and fourth. Jeff Gordon the leader and Sterling Marlin in second. Chevys are in first and second. Ford is third.
Why is there so little passing in this race so far?
Well, because if you try to pass and somebody don't hook up, you just messed yourself up. So I think, we just need this rain to go away and some sun, and you'll see some passing because there'll be a lot of slipping and sliding.
Morgan Shepherd, do you think there'll be some drivers here trying to make some deals to get something going when the green comes back out?
I don't know, but you was talking about there wasn't no passing. I came from 32nd.
Yes, you did. You came up through the field in a hurry and have had some great success here. How are you today?
I'm real good. I wish it was hotter and slicker because my car's turning real good in the corners, and it seems I can go high or low, and some of the guys are pushing a little bit, and I can kind of drive by them on the outside.
Well, just about the time that Sterling Marlin changed the visor on his helmet to the type that you would use if it were going to be nice and bright and sunny, the skies opened up, and we've got a pretty good rainstorm here. It seems to have let up just a little bit from what we had 4 or 5 minutes ago. Sterling, how do these changes in weather affect the chassis setup, what you guys put into the car before the race?
Well, we didn't change nothing this morning on the car. It was a little cloudy yesterday evening. We got the same setup we had in the qualifying race. It's 84 degrees, and the car's been working good. And we're just making laps right now, and hopefully come down the end, me and Jeff can settle it.
You won the race here last year, the Daytona 500, won your 125-mile qualifier on Thursday. What is there about you and this joint that seem to get along so well?
I don't know. I tell you, I got a great race team in the Kodak race team. Great bunch of guys, and builds in motors, they'll get it. And the Fab boys do a real good job, and they take a lot of pride in coming here and running good. And I've always enjoyed running here. I just run second here about 10 times and won 2, so I like this place.
We've had a tough day today, and we're still in good position. And feels like I've already raced 900 miles. We got a long way to go, so maybe things will turn out good. Maybe we've had all our bad luck, and we've definitely got time to recover from it. And we're back up in pretty good position.
You gotta go take a nap. You're tired. How many miles do you think you run?
Feels like 900.
You better go work out. We've been having a chicken sandwich and just kicked back here, having a sun drop.
I think this conversation may deteriorate into who's got the faster airplane here in a minute if we get to do any more bench racing. Mark's getting one and Dale has one. Ken Squire?
Oh, yeah. Just a little pit chat down here at Daytona.
Welcome back to Daytona.
It's the big one, gang. It's the big one. It's what we've all been fearing. This kind of racing is going to happen.
A horrible crash on the back straightaway that began when Tony Stewart got turned sideways against the backstretch wall number 20. Jason Leffler all torn up. The defending Cup champion Labonte. Stewart. There's fire underneath the hood of Bobby Labonte's car. He's out. He's okay. This is the view. You see Tony Stewart moving inside his car.
It's happened up here. I think that this car right here, man, and look at, is that Stewart's car?
That's Stewart's car. Rode right across the top of Robbie Gordon's car, the 4 car.
And I think
everybody.
Back up and look at it again. I think that the 4 and the 20 may have been that started that. Here we come off of turn 2 again. Right there. See, Ward Burton got pushed around by that car, and that's the 4 car.
Then he got in the back of Tony Stewart. Of course, Tony Stewart won airborne here.
And it was Ward Burton's car being sideways that blocked up the track for everybody behind him.
Boy, and it gets hit by every car in the field, seems like, and Tony Stewart's car just took a whale of a ride. That must be at least 30 cars in that wreck.
From Tony Stewart's onboard camera.
Around the 1. Around the 1. Right there. 3 wide inside. 3 wide. 3 wide. Clear into the 14.
That is something a driver never wants to hear.
4 times I made it through. I flapped out the tire. I made it through. 10-4, bud. We'll put 4 on it.
Here's one more angle from Mark Martin, whose car is now all torn up.
It's the outside wall real hard. Gets hit again, and takes out.
And Tony Stewart goes for one of the wildest rides in recent memory at Daytona.
Kind of looks like the Richard Petty crash here, back when Richard crashed off turn 4 down here, standing on.
Look, he's got Bobby Labonte's hood. It was hooked to the back of his car as he was in midair.
Both Gibbs's cars roll into a halt there.
The Daytona 500 has been halted for a devastating crash in the back straightaway. Andy Houston walking back.
It was really over before it started.
He and Jeff Burton, Dale Jarrett, Buckshot Jones, John Andretti. There's Joe Gibbs going to check on his 2 drivers. Jerry Nadeau. Jeff Gordon was involved. Ward Burton's car wrecked. Elliott Sadler. There's Tony Stewart's car destroyed. Bobby Labonte demolished. Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, Robbie Gordon, Rusty Wallace, Steve Park, and Jason Leffler were all involved in the back straightaway. 17 cars, and add Kenny Wallace, 18-car crash.
And this restart is going to be the whole marbles here. Jeff Gordon's got to be careful that Sterling Marlin doesn't lay back and get a run on him on the back straightaway.
You ready? Green flag, green flag.
If they don't get by Jeff Gordon before they come around the next time, they will not pass it. And Michael
Waltrip. Jeff Green is involved. Jeff Gordon spinning down the inside. Gordon is in the grass. They're racing for the lead at the head of the pack, double wide.
Stay below the white line. You got some people out there. There you go.
Sterling Marlin, he's got damage. He must have hit Gordon.
And here comes Ward Burton on the outside. He's got to run.
Track's clear.
With Elliott Sadler giving him some help. Here's Jeffrey Bodine trying to help the 40 car.
Caution flag is out. This could be the race to the finish of the Daytona 500. You'll see some rubbing here, I'm sure, getting back to the line. This may be it. 6 cars sprinting toward the caution flag. Marlin inside, seeking his third 500 win. Ward Burton trying to get his first victory. 2 dodges, drag racing back to the caution flag. Who's going to get there first? Marlin by a nose. I think what happened was Sterling Marlin went down to go underneath Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon went to put the block on, and he went across the nose of Sterling Marlin's car, and that's what spun him out. The race is not over. They're going to red flag the event. They're going to stop the field, restart the race, and try and settle it.
And Terry Labonte, a lot of damage to the nose of that car. And with Sterling, can he last a couple laps under the green?
Wow, that may even...
Fault. I mean, Sterling hung back so much there that, I mean, you know, I didn't have a choice but to slow down there. And he had a run on me, and I blocked him, you know, got myself turned.
That's
got myself turned.
Yep. Jeff Gordon's explanation. Sterling was laying back. Now, all these guys back here are jamming up because some of these guys laid back before the restart. Michael Waltrip hit by Mark Martin.
Rusty Wallace is involved.
Watch Waltrip almost go by the pace car here. Yikes. And Robert Presley's car being pushed on pit road. Man, pace car gassed it right there at the last second.
One more look. We see him, Jeff Gordon, bring them down really, really slow. And then Mark Martin runs in the back of Michael Waltrip. And
now watch here, Sterling Marlin goes underneath of Jeff. Jeff goes down, tries to run the black block on Sterling, and runs across the nose. But Marlin was below that yellow line, wasn't he? That's out of bounds. Okay, go ahead, Alan. Now watch the yellow line on the... No, you won't see it. Well, there we will. He was down there. Jeff Burton got a piece of it. Terry Labonte, Rusty Wallace, and Bill Elliott.
And there you see the 40 car with the left side below the yellow line.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm sure he's checked. He may have been wondering how that right front damage looks.
The car. Sterling Marlin is jumping out of his car. He's going around to look at the right front fender. But, oh, he can't do that.
You can't work on your car under the red flag. That's the NASCAR rule.
Pull it off a little bit.
You're not allowed to work on your car under the red flag. As the wreck was happening at the start-finish line, the 40 car went down. Jeff was down there. He was avoiding Jeff, and there's one shot. Actually, you can see when Jeff was coming down, he was coming back up the track, and Sterling came back up the track, but that's what they called. And let's make clear, you just walked over to NASCAR Race Control to ask that, and that's the answer you got.
Right. So why is he going to the end of the longest line, Sterling Marlin?
He's going to the end of the longest line, but it would be for working on the car
during the red.
Under the red flag.
Right. Okay.
Correct. So no penalty for going below the line, but the penalty to the end of the longest line is for working on the car under the red.
Right. Exactly. Not the yellow line is not an issue.
Okay.
It's for working on the car during the red.
And he goes to the end of the longest line. So therefore he'll come in, they'll work on the car, knock the fender out, change 4 tires.
4 tires and go.
Agree with those decisions?
It doesn't matter either way. Whether you get penalized for going below the yellow line or working on the car, you're going to get penalized for one of those. So I don't know what's the difference.
It's fair enough. I mean, what are they going to do? Make him go the end of the longest line twice? They can't do that. I mean, so it's fair enough, the penalty.
Well, Sterling, first off, can you even begin to describe your side of the controversy?
No, I mean, it's a Daytona 500, and you're going to try to win the thing, and laid back, try to get a run on Jeff, and as soon as he got across the line and hooked left and got up his quarter panel, and his deal is he's going to try to block, and if I was in his shoes, I try to block too, and we just hooked together, hooked bumpers, and he spun out and I went on and got my fender on the tire. So we tried to get it pulled off, but NASCAR didn't like it. Let's go to the rear.
Did you question that? I mean, them questioning you, messing with the fender?
Well, I seen Earnhardt doing it at Richmond one time, so he got out and cleaned his windshield off, so I thought it was okay. I don't guess it was.
I guess not. Sterling Marlin nearly pulls off a win here in Daytona, Alan. Disappointed.
There you see those 2 trailing arms just flopping underneath there that holds the rear end in place.
And the cars really and truly, folks, when you see the car coming apart like that, that's good news. That's dissipating energy. As that car flies apart, it's slowing itself down, and it's not stopping suddenly and hurting the driver.
Rain begins to fall here at the Daytona International Speedway. This storm system has been moving across Florida all morning. It was expected to come in here sometime this afternoon. Here are the various scenarios. Hopefully we can get this race completed during this afternoon, get the track dry and get back to racing. If not, the track is lit for night racing. We've not completed 100 laps, which would be halfway and make this race official. So maybe tomorrow,
now,
maybe today.
We're under caution right now until all the cars get to pit road and stop. That's the reason these guys can still work on the car. Once they display the red flag, all work must cease on a race car if you're going to try to get it back in the field.
And there's a NASCAR official looking at it, standing right behind them there. And as soon as the cars get stopped, he'll say, okay, guys, got to quit working on it.
Because I'm looking down on the flag stand, and right now the flagman, he has the yellow flag waving, but they're waiting all the cars to get to pit road and get stopped. That's when the red flag will be displayed.
And the red flag is not due to the accident, but due to the rain.
Yeah, and all the cars need to get probably past the start-finish line, Larry, for the scoring purposes.
So the teams will cover their cars and cover their pit stalls.
We've been told that Bobby Labonte, Ken Schrader went to the infield care center, but they've been released.
Tony Eury Jr., Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s cousin and crew chief. We started the day in Daytona with more than 160,000 sun-drenched race fans who are now just drenched. It is pouring, everything but cats and dogs here at Daytona. One person has a smile on his face, and he's with Matt.
And that's Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking to his crew chief, Tony Eury Sr. First off, you were playing weatherman a little bit. Did you think this was a big 12-hour cell?
Yeah, it looks pretty bad right now. I kept on
talking about the weather all morning, and they said whenever it got here, it's going to be here a while. So hopefully there's a window in there somewhere. I don't want to see it get stopped past halfway. I mean, we spent 2 weeks down here. We need to run 500 miles. I mean, that'd really blow if we had to stop the race after halfway. But hopefully NASCAR will stick around even if we have to do it tomorrow.
Jeff, I think the good news is there's blue sky over there.
Yeah, well, keep looking because I don't know if it's going to be there for long. I mean, I want to get this thing going. I didn't want to see it stop because our car was really coming, but the weather forecast doesn't look real good. But we got lights here at Daytona, so I'm sure we can get it underway eventually.
Oh, yeah, good point.
And I like the night racing.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
Well, there is blue sky in that horizon. It has just poured, the hardest I've ever seen it rain in Daytona Beach, but the rain has stopped. Just like somebody threw a switch, the sky is brightening, and they're going to begin to dry the track right now.
同ポイントになる可能性、そうそう、同ポイントですね。
いやー、かなりの大粒の雨がウィンドシールドを叩いています。
あ、もう終わり。
いやー、
終わりです。
これは
今、
いや盛り上がってきたところなのに終わってほしくないですね。
終わりましたね。
With Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers in the Hollywood Hotel just above Victory Lane as the rain is starting to fall under our 5th caution. And a couple of important things happened here because we're on our 109th lap, 270 miles. So if it needed to be called, the race would be official.
Well, everybody on top of Michael Waltrip's pit box, except his crew chief Slugger Labby, was sitting here under umbrellas. You don't have one. At least you didn't have one until I showed up. You don't mind the rain?
No, I hope it keeps on raining too. I hope NASCAR and Daytona haven't paid their light bill so they don't turn the lights on so we can just end this thing and get it over with.
They won here in 2001. It looks awful good for them to win in 2003. Mike?
They're going to red flag the race. The cars coming down pit road behind the pace cars. You watch helmet cam on Michael Waltrip.
And look at him. That's his leg right there. Look how he's all wadded up in there. You know, he's 6'5". I don't know how he gets that big body down inside that race car, but he does.
He's 6'5" with about 5 foot of legs.
Hey, Michael, this is DW up in the tower. How you read, bud?
Good.
How you feel, bud?
Bad.
You happy?
Something's up. I've never heard Michael answer a question with one word before.
We're told that another car besides Dale Jr. is having electrical difficulties, and that's Robbie Gordon. And not sure if it's the same problem, the alternator not charging, or a different one.
Hey, yeah, what the deal was, Michael, he wanted to get out of there. They're going to put the car cover on. He had to get out of there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's official. The rain has persisted. It's going to continue through the night. The race has been called, and Michael Waltrip is a 2-time champion of the Daytona 500.
No, I tell you what, what a thrill. What a great accomplishment for him, his team, and boy, I know it's just got to make him, well, look at him. Let it rain, baby. He's had a great speed weeks. And his second Daytona 500 win. And guess we've done 3 races from here, and he's won all 3 of them.
Kurt Busch finishes 2nd. Jimmy Johnson is 3rd. Kevin Harvick, Mark Martin.
I heard that it hadn't been shortened since 1966. I said, they're due. It's got to be about time one got shortened up again. So thankful for Dale Earnhardt. He made this place even more special to me, watching him over the years. And I know his heart, and he was about this place. And I know he's smiling now. And
he was about this place.
This place and he were one. And if you're gonna die, when it's time to die, you need to go somewhere where you feel so at ease and at peace and at home. And that describes Dale at Daytona. I'm just thankful for the opportunity he gave me. Thankful for Teresa, who's running DEI. Oh, all the guys, Slugger. I mean, it's amazing. It's just amazing that we put that car in the front, and then it started raining. And it's just, people don't know what, I mean, you just don't know what Daytona means. You can't know unless you've lived your life pursuing dreams that come true here. Thank God for a nice rain shower, and I prayed for it to rain. I pray for God to forgive me for the dumb things I do and to make me a better person, and then I ask for what I want. And today I really wanted some rain. Woo!
Nobody's going to lift now. There's just 4.5 laps to go in the Daytona 500.
What do you think? Oh, there's a car in trouble.
Jamie McMurray, the 26 car, bounces off the outside wall.
And around they go.
Ricky Rudd, the 88 car. Caution will be out.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And remember, when the caution comes out, at the moment of caution, the field is frozen.
What do we got? 5 laps to go, 4 to go this time. It looks like we may get a green-white checker here.
McMurray is done. Rudd and Earnhardt trying to make it back to the pits.
Boy, Junior's car is crunched.
We will have Stock Car Racing's version of overtime. This race is scheduled for 200 laps. But if we complete 200 laps under caution, we will go to overtime. Now watch McMurray on the left of your screen in the high groove, the purple car.
I'm pretty sure that Kenseth's got in the back of him. Looked like maybe Jamie may have had to lift out of the throttle just a little bit. And here comes the rest of these guys. Like I said, we're coming to the end of the race. You don't lift now.
And Darrell, Ricky Rudd could not swerve to the right because Earnhardt was there.
All you can do is drive and hope that a hole opens up. There's no stopping. You drive it to the bitter end.
There's nothing a spotter can do for you there.
No, you just got to drive through it.
Ricky Rudd's view.
Now let's see the hit he gets from behind. And in an incident like that, you can't get your hand up. You can't signal. You say, hey, I'm slowing down. You don't have time to slow down.
And Ricky Rudd's 29th try to win the 500 is over.
And that's just how fast it happens right there. You got a car down on the inside, the 40 car. Strimmy, he's down there spoken. You got the 26 in the wall. Here comes 17.
Wow, it just all started stacking up.
He did.
You know, Jamie McMurray had a car probably good enough to win this race a year ago and almost had the very same thing happen in the exact spot a year ago.
It's just a real nightmare as a car owner and a driver to run all day long, have pretty good car, maybe get a decent finish, get the year started off right, and end up like that on the hook.
Now the race is going to be red flagged. They will stop the cars coming off turn 2 and clean that area up. We have a new tool for NASCAR on Fox this year. It's called Fox 3D. And we can take any car in the field and through GPS positioning, a little video game type animation, we're going to follow Jamie McMurray through all this. As he gets sideways, cars go by, and without all of the smoke, you get a good idea of what happens as McMurray rolls through that crash scene and where he tipped Martin Truex. That's how the front end damage happened on Truex's car.
Cars look a little cleaner after that accident on that.
Yes, they do.
With that.
Takers among the lead lap cars this time.
Well, again, I think they're watching the radar and they're watching the weather. Everyone knows regardless, even if you stopped right there, you're still going to have to make another stop. And I just think they want to run this thing out just as far as they possibly can to see what this weather is going to do.
Last thing you want to do, Larry, is pit right now.
You see the bit of rain falling. Katie Kenseth up on the pit box for husband Matt. Welcome back to Daytona. 49 laps to go. We're under caution. Bit of a sprinkle. And the jet dryer still running, trying to keep some heat in the racetrack, get it dried off so we can resume the Daytona 500.
We're going to get this race restarted. We're going to work as hard as we can, NASCAR. But there's a lot of things happening with the car that's leading this race right now, Matt Kenseth. One is with that man right there, Jack Roush, the owner of this 17 car. He's been an owner in Sprint Cup since 1988. He started Roush Racing, which is now Roush Fenway, with Mark Martin as a single car team. All the races he's won, 113 races, he's never won a Daytona 500. Matt Kenseth went winless last year. They made a crew chief change over the offseason. A rookie crew chief sitting on the pit box right now, Drew Blickensderfer. There you see him right there. This is Drew right here. That's Ron Hornaday from the Camping World Truck Series, his son-in-law. Drew has been in the Nationwide Series, and here he is in his first race as a Sprint Cup Series crew chief, leading the Daytona 500 with Matt Kenseth.
They have brought the cars to pit road, withdrawn the yellow, and issued the red flag. Some of the cars have now been covered up, and no work is permitted on cars during the red flag. Matt Kenseth is the leader. He has led a grand total of 1 green flag laps tonight.
It is over. So Matt Kenseth,
okay,
Jack Roush, there is your Daytona 500 winner in the 51st running of the Great American Race, the 2009 champ. Matt Kenseth in a backup car, slipping through for the lead, and now the victory in the rain-shortened Daytona 500. And our Steve Burns is down there. Steve?
Well, Chris, Matt Kenseth wins the biggest race of them all. Matt, what does it mean to you as a racer from the time you were a child to win this race?
Oh, my goodness. It's going to be really wet out here. It's probably going to cry like a baby, but just really need to thank my team and thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity, first of all. And just had a lot of great opportunities in my life with my family and getting me into racing. And really DeWalt, Ford, Carhartt, USG Sheetrock, Arnell Carriers, all the sponsors that we had that have stuck by us and made this happen in an up economy and a down economy. And man, I don't know, winning the Daytona 500 is definitely a G moment. It's just an unbelievable feeling.
.78 laps to go, under a break here for track repair. When you pave a racetrack, beginning at the bottom of the apron, you lay the pavement in courses about 12 feet wide, and that creates a seam right where those safety workers are standing, and some of the asphalt in that seam between the lowest and the next course has come up.
Well, what happens with these race cars, and we've seen it more this year than any other year I can remember, these cars are porpoising more through the dips. And when they do, when the car comes down, there are parts underneath that race car, like a cross member or headers or, you know, bell housings, all kind of things under there that can hit the racetrack. And apparently it's dug up a piece of the racetrack.
You can see the seam there right along where that safety worker, you can see the first seam right here and the second. Casey Kane riding around under caution, talked to his crew about it.
Yeah, it's a big chunk. Like the track's gone right there.
Is it in the track or is it on the apron?
Yeah, it's right on the first, the first paving line at the top of that line. So it's about, 14 feet off the white line or off the yellow line?
Yeah, it sounds like a real bad spot.
Yeah, definitely.
So the race has been red flagged. The cars have been brought down pit road. There's an NASCAR official stationed at each car. No work is allowed to be done. The drivers are to stay in their cars. The patchwork is completed, and much has happened in April 2004 at Martinsville, Virginia, when a chunk of concrete came up entering turn number 3. They made the patch. Takes about 10 or 12 minutes to set up, and then we're back to racing. They continue to work on that asphalt seam between the two courses of pavement. On the 31-degree banking, we are told by NASCAR that within 10 minutes or less, they'll release the cars back on track.
The
43 car that led this race, brought out one of those last cautions. In fact,
Don't know why. Caution.
The yellow is out. And we believe that this may be again for the asphalt down between turn 1 and 2. Very adjacent to or the same area as where the patch was put down before. So with Kevin Harvick leading, Juan Montoya second. For the second time today, the field has been brought down pit road, stopped behind the Ford Mustang GT pace car, a NASCAR official at each car, and they've gone out to deal with the issue of turn 1 and 2. As often happens when you make a patch in asphalt, it's the adjacent asphalt that goes first, and you see that seam beginning to break up, and once it does, what surrounds that patch is going to work its way apart, and all that aggregate comes down the banking and just raises havoc. Now we're told by NASCAR that during the 36 laps of racing that we've just had, they've had discussions with the folks on the grounds responsible for maintaining the asphalt, and just in case this situation did recur, they have a different type of patching material that they are going to use, something that they hope is durable enough to hold up to the 39 laps that we have left to run.
Yeah, well, I applaud these guys. I mean, NASCAR guys, they're watching out for these drivers, and when this thing gets too bad, if it comes apart like that, they stop the race trying to fix it. And you got to give them credit for that. We don't want anybody cutting down a tire or having a bad accident.
And now, under caution, Juan Pablo Montoya has crashed and gone aflame.
Holy cow, what happened?
We just got a report that he was complaining about a bad vibration in every gear.
No, Larry, he just slammed
into the jet dryer.
I think he slammed into the jet dryer.
They're trying to clear debris off the racetrack, and the car brakes, won't steer, and he slides up the track and into the back of that surplus helicopter jet engine on a trailer used to dry the racetrack.
Mike, I saw sparks coming out from the car as if it had a tire down or something. What an incredible turn of events. I've never in my life. Oh my gosh.
And all that spilled jet fuel found something hot to ignite it. Safety workers quickly on the scene. And this is a bizarre twist to this Daytona 500. Down in turn number 3.
Well, I've seen a lot of things, but I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. That fuel is just running right down. That thing's full of fuel. They keep them full all the time. I just wonder what it's going to do to the racetrack.
Well, here comes the fire crew. You see the red truck bottom of the screen. They've got to get that out because that fire could damage the racing surface.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, you got fuel, it's on fire. It could eat that asphalt right up.
It is commonplace for track safety, rescue, track drying vehicles to circulate the track under a caution flag. Drivers must maintain reasonable speed while catching up the pack and avoid those emergency vehicles. They're brightly lit and everything. That's easy to do when you can be under control of your race car.
I just wonder if Montoya was going down the back catching up with the field and he didn't know the safety truck was up there. They called him on the radio and said, "Watch that safety truck," and the car darted hard right. Something had to happen.
I saw sparks underneath. The car broke, and I don't believe he had steering control.
I don't either. I mean,
the car went up the track.
When you see the sparks come out from under the car, it just looks like it had a flat tire or something happened to it. I don't know how many gallons of jet fuel that thing holds, but I guarantee you it's got several gallons in it. Several, probably 100.
Track personnel exited that cleanup truck very quickly after the collision and walked away.
That's got to be eating the track up. I just wonder what it's going to do to it, Larry.
Yeah, that fire's been burning for quite a while now.
All I could think about was, are we going to finish it? Who's the winner? I didn't even know who was in the lead at this point.
We said, that's it. The race is over, and I think Dave Blaney was leading the race at the time.
Not convinced that Dave Blaney is going to win the Daytona 500.
Dave Blaney just stole the win in this Daytona 500.
He said the asphalt's toast.
Might win.
There are moments of great serendipity in this sport, and Dave Blaney leading the Daytona 500 at a moment when it might be ended was certainly one of them. He'd never had the star power that was suddenly shining upon him. And on Tommy Baldwin, a startup team owner, so it was a great moment to showcase.
Think Dave Blaney's ever had so many friends? they've all gathered at his car.
Everybody, you know, came by and said something.
I went up and talked to Blaney because he was actually the one who was leading, and I was like, man, if anybody could win this thing and we don't go back to racing and I don't get a chance to, it'd be cool to see him win it because he's one of the good guys of the sport.
The guy that spent the most time there was probably Dale Jr.
Dave Blaney was leading. That'd been a heck of a story.
I think he just wanted to see my reaction if they did call it off.
Do you feel like the damage is going to be too significant to be still competitive up at the front?
Well, no, it's been like that since lap 50. I can still hang in the pack just fine. If they give me this race, what am I going to say? This is going to be the biggest asterisk in the history of auto racing besides this race.
In a race filled with historic firsts, there was yet another novelty poised to grab the headlines.
We have every driver that we're watching, every team member, every journalist that's at the track, and this tweet came up. We're like, holy crap, where did that come from? It's actually a photo from the dash of Keselowski's car. And we thought, this is absolutely, you know, unbelievable.
Sure enough, I had my phone on my car, and I was stuck on the back stretch because of the jet dryer explosion. Nothing to do but just sit for what seemed like forever, but I guess it was only about an hour. And thankfully, I had phone service to be able to have some fun.
I call it the tweet that was heard around the world.
The tweet heard around the NASCAR world.
The tweet launched NASCAR into the social media age. Keselowski gained over 140,000 new followers in a matter of minutes.
It was humorous at the moment for that to be a contributor to what all was going on, and it's something we just hadn't thought about, and it pops up, and there it is.
Certainly that was unique. That was the first and last time that'll ever happen, you know, having his phone with him and doing all that stuff.
There's Brad Keselowski's tweeting again.
There were some pit reporters that we were trying to get over the wall because we figured, look, if he's tweeting, they're out of the car, they're talking. Well, let's go interview him.
So for the first time probably in Daytona 500 history, Brad, who has his iPhone inside his race car, he tweeted a picture. Master Twitter person back on the backstretch, what was the latest thing? Were you able to get close enough to see before NASCAR made you guys come back to see what the racetrack looked like?
No, not really, but I've seen a lot of cool pictures on my phone that nobody else has a phone, so they should get one so they know what's going on. But I'm having a good time, and it's great to talk to the fans. Thanks for following me on at Keselowski. It's been a blast.
Now they're watering down that fuel spill.
By golly, I couldn't believe the job that NASCAR did, the safety workers did, in cleaning up the track. They used one of my favorite products.
And now a new use for laundry detergent.
Tide's not an uncommon product for use at the racetrack to clean up oil spills.
Tide it's a great cleaner. I'm not just endorsing it because we use it on the racetrack. It's part of our maintenance program at tracks on a regular basis.
So a little water and a little detergent.
Garden spreader.
We're in the rinse cycle now.
So we're out there with laundry detergent trying to clean the racetrack to get it clean enough to put down a material called a street bond. In layman's terms, it's Scotch guard, basically. Put it over that area to see if it'll hold together. So I get on the phone with Bill Braniff, our track engineer. Where are we? What are we at? Don't know yet. He's out there touching the asphalt, kicking it. Seems like it might be okay.
What we do is we work till we can't work anymore. That's what's expected of us.
After a 2-hour delay, the moment of truth was at hand.
On all levels, I'm proud of the fact of how our team responded, and we actually got the track ready to go racing again.
We are now back under the yellow flag as the cars roll on the back straightaway.
That was our biggest fear, was could we restart the race, and would the pavement hold up to the pounding of those cars rolling off into the corner?
Couple guys saying the track's no good.
The first time we rolled through that area, it was like you went down a gravel road.
Holy crap, that's all gravel at that time, right through the middle of the track. They better look and see if it's coming up.
Of course, Tommy's wanting me to say on the radio that it's horrible.
Tell them it's no good, man.
Keep that car up front, and who knows what might happen.
We're going to stay out until they throw the green flag. Prayed that track would slide down in the infield, and it'd be over.
If it's 1 to go here, we got a pit.
10-4, 1 to go. We got a pit. That was 2 to go. This is 1 to go.
And the dreams of the front four may be dashed right here. They can't go the distance without fuel. Blaney, Castle, Rains, and Gilliland.
Well, I remember feeling like, oh, and I had to pull down pit road. It was like the lottery ticket that almost had that last number on it.
A light rain shower came, and now it's gone. We'll be back with more from Daytona after this. Welcome back to Daytona, where at 38 laps, the race has been red flagged temporarily due to a rain shower that was not unexpected this afternoon. In our meeting with NASCAR this morning, they said, well, we expect we may have to get this race in fits and starts a little bit at a time. But as long as they have a reasonable expectation of completing the entire 200 laps, they'll send the jet dryers, the air titans out to dry the track, and we will make every attempt to do so. 200 laps is the race distance. We must get past halfway, 100 laps, for the race to be called official today if heavy rains come and are going to blanket the area for the rest of the day and evening. But right now, brief shower. All of the track drying equipment is out there and working already, and those air titans have shortened the drying time 30 to 50% from the previous use of jet dryers alone. So drivers have climbed from their cars.
And meanwhile, checking the weather maps, it's not looking bad north, right? And that's where we want all those things. But you can see right where the circle is, that's where we have the rain. If it moves through, and it's supposed to, we should be okay as the air titan dryers using that compressed air as opposed to jet engines trying to dry the track.
3 to go. 3 wide behind you. 4's in the middle. 4's in the middle.
Yellow caution. Crash front straightaway. Justin Allgaier.
Down.
That was well back of the lead draft, and we're under caution.
What happened over there?
Good question.
33 blew right front, caught me and put me in the wall.
And that was from Justin Allgaier. Ty Dillon's car had slowed, and now he is crawling onto pit road. There is the damage to Dillon.
See, there he goes.
He had a pretty big pack of drivers coming at him. Barely get by. Eric Almirola was all the way down in the grass in that 43 car.
They are going to hold the field while they clean up down the front straightaway through the tri-oval and remove Justin Allgaier's car from the front straightaway.
Whoa, Kyle Busch is around. Big wreck.
Wow. There's
Dale Jr. got involved.
Oh, Junior's in it, and
Matt Kenseth
And Ty Dillon and Eric Jones are all piled up in turn 3.
What the heck happened?
The 18 just turned around. I don't know if he got himself in a unique position, or the car got loose right there going in the corner, or he had a tire going down, but it just turned around in front of everybody.
All right, let's see what we got.
There's Kyle Busch.
All by himself.
Boy.
Oh, it just turned. I mean, that has to be a tire. There's no way that car just jumped around like that without something happening to it. I mean, he just lost. That thing just went sideways.
They were working their way through some slower traffic right here. I can't imagine that there was an aero situation there, but
something cut that tire.
Definitely turned around.
Did he make contact with that car he was passing?
It's a good question.
I didn't see any, but we can look at it again.
I mean,
he's just right there. He's all by himself. Now watch. All of a sudden, that car goes around like a left rear tire maybe went down.
Before that, he and Michael McDowell were pretty close together on the racetrack.
Did you see Junior?
Yeah.
Go up on 2 wheels.
Jimmy Johnson scoots through.
No, that thing just turns around, Mike, all by himself.
You're right. McDowell was nowhere near him.
Right.
Nothing that we did wrong. You know, obviously Goodyear tires just aren't very good at holding air. So it's very frustrating when we have that down here every single year we've been here. Last year we had it as well too. It wrecked us in practice and tore up a car. A few cars actually were in that as well. So this M&M's Camry though, we were just biding our time, playing it out, trying to see what the strategies we're going to do at the segments. Thankfully we have I guess a segment point, you know, out of this day. That's a positive, but man, you're trying to win the Daytona 500 here, you know, and that's just so disappointing.
Thanks, Jamie. Now, the red flag is a boon to the drivers who have crash damage. They can work up a plan for repair. Elliott Sadler, Xfinity Series regular, finds himself leading the Daytona 500.
Hey, Elliott Sadler at CW, man, you got a copy on us?
Yeah, I got a copy on you.
Hey, buddy, you're leading the Daytona 500, man. How's it look out there?
Well, it was looking good until a little while ago. This Golden Corral Chevy has been pretty good all day. We've just been trying to bide our time, and I was following the boss man right there, and we had hooked up, and we're getting ready to make some pit stops together and try to keep our track position, but I'm not sure really what happened in front of us, and I got into it a little bit. I think I got a little right front damage, so we're going to have to fix that, but very proud of Tommy Baldwin and the guys giving me this opportunity, DW, and, you know, we're going to try to make the most of it.
Well, you sure looked good yesterday in the 2 stages that you won, and you're leading the 500, so that's a big deal. Keep it up, buddy.
I appreciate it. It's a dream come true to be able to race in this thing again, and it's awesome to lead it, and I want to thank all the fans for being here today. It's great to see this many people here supporting this great event. We'll see what happens here as we get to the end.
This is big. Wow. But it...
Boy, it just reminds me of the Clash. Same type of carnage that we saw where these cars were going everywhere. A lot of damage as they all got to turn 3.
Well, that ruined everything.
A pretty nice push down the back straightaway to Benedetto. Gets to his right rear. Oh, yeah, that just starts to turn him a little bit.
Got him in the right rear.
And then he collects Menard.
Yeah.
Logano just misses it, but the whole outside lane and half the inside pile up.
And this is exactly what we were just talking about. At this stage in the race, you can start to taste victory in the Daytona 500. You want to see that checkered flag, and you'll do anything to get it, and you know you've got to be more aggressive with those bump drafts.
It looks exactly like the Clash. I mean, all those cars, third turn, all those cars wadded up, sliding up the track with sparks flying. It looked so much like the Clash.
That is the 17th of February, looking way too much like the 4th of July.
Amen.
Fireworks everywhere.
Yeah, and it really and truly, it was Paul Menard. He gave De Benedetto a little shove, but it was on the outside, on the right side, and that just turned De Benedetto into the outside wall, and then it was on from there.
And a different situation than we saw in the clash between Menard and with Jimmy Johnson, but it was a similar thing when we heard the spotter on the 21, Menard say, well, he zigged and we zagged.
And in this case, Menard told his team on the radio, I just bumped him a little too hard.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? It's the end of the race. You're trying to help that guy. You're trying to help De Benedetto. You're not trying to wreck him, but just bad judgment. Look at that 10 car.
Almirola's number 10.
Look at David Reagan underneath the 10 of Almirola.
David Reagan, see what springs he's running. Look at that.
All those sparks flying.
Gosh.
Man, amazing shots.
And all Almirola wanted was a chance to win it on the last lap.
Yeah, well, didn't
like last year.
Didn't quite get there. Close.
So under the red flag, the cars are parked as we await cleanup to be completed.
It's pretty much a shot right there of, and you can even take out the 9 of Chase Elliott and the 24 of William Byron. Other than that, all those cars are the only ones that made it through with no damage, or very little anyway. See an advantage until that just happened right there. Now 3 wide, 2 rows back, 3 rows back. Oh, Boyer gets turned. Looked to me like he came up just a little bit too early on McDowell.
Oh my gosh.
And William Byron's luck runs out.
Get through that one.
What memo did we not get? I mean, this is crazy. Well.
And the Joe Gibbs Toyotas lead them across the line. And there's Boyer.
Great move right here. Side drafts the 34 McDowell and 24. Gets them too wide. They stall out. Here's where he comes off that yellow line just a little bit too early. I don't know if the air on the right side brought him up or if he just decided to try to get up in front of him, but just a little bit too early in front of McDowell and the 34. Ooh, big hit. Right there. 00 Landon Castle to the side door of William Byron.
Well, let's ride with Ryan Priest because you won't believe this, chapter 2.
Keep it coming there. Stay with that 14. He's rolling there. 3 wide, just 3 wide. Stay down, stay down. All right, you're good, you're good, you're good. Stay.
Yeah, somebody's got some luck on his side, or
Chase Elliott.
Skill.
3 wide. 2 wide, back to 3. Oh, we're wrecking again. We had such a run going.
Oh, William took 2 hard hits to the driver's side door. One from Clint Boyer, and then the next one later by Landon Castle.
The 11 car wins this race. That would be incredible.
We are 2 laps from finishing the Daytona 500.